Hey guys, welcome to another video and thanks for clicking on this one. In this particular video, I want to share with you something that if we can pay attention to it, we could use it and it could be beneficial in the long term. And this is something that a lot of investors use. It's not a new thing, okay? It's something that is used quite often. And if you truly understand the psychology of investing, then you would see the benefit of this type of tool. And I'm glad that there's a tool like this. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a return subscriber, thanks for coming back again. This is going to be one of those videos that you will benefit from, of course, if you put it to use. The goal is that we can talk about all of these things from now till tomorrow, but if we do not put it to use on a regular basis, and we don't let our emotions drive our actions, then we may not see the results that we want. But if we put it to use, then generally speaking, as long as you stay committed to the long-term approach of it, and you have a well-diversified fund or a portfolio, then you should be good, and you will be good actually, based on just history. It has always worked that way. Okay. All right. What I have right here is the Fear and Greed Index, and this is something that often can be used to time the market. Now, I am not a proponent of some of the idea that you time the market, but when you are in a situation where you can afford maybe more than what you already do on a regular basis, on a monthly basis, for example, then this is a tool that you can use to also buy more of the discounted stocks, ETFs, and the likes. So let me give you an example of what I mean. Looking at this index, we have it split into 5 regions or zones. Let's call it zones. All right. It starts from 0 to 100. We have extreme fear right here. Okay. And extreme fear pretty much means that there's a lot of fear in the market. A lot of investors are selling, and there's, of course, the downward pressure of the uncertainty that we are in the environment, whether it's the geopolitical concerns, the war, the fact that fuel prices keeps increasing, the fact that inflation may rise or will continue to rise, all those factors, right, has put a lot of pressure on the market, causing investors to fear, to invest. And what that means is that a lot of them have actually started selling, which most hedge funds and all these big institutions will mostly do. Even retail investors do that, but you don't want to do that because that's where you make the mistake. The reality remains that they are able to use algorithms to trade. And sometimes, as a retail investor in this case, you may not have the ability to be online, to watch the market, to catch the news, and all those factors. So what would then happen is, once this index shows extreme fear, it means that the market is extremely sold off. And if we were to go to the S&P 500, the Dow, the NASDAQ, and all the indexes, you would see that we've lost a very key support region. Generally speaking, they talk about a 200 moving average as a support region. So it's usually will look like a line like this on the chart, if I were to bring up the chart, but I don't want to do that now. So this is not a 200 moving average. This is just for the Fear and Greed Index itself. This is a 125 moving average on the Fear and Greed Index for the S&P 500. And what you want to do with this information is that if you were to find this needle pointing extreme fear, so anything below 25 is considered extreme fear, it means that you have opportunities in the market. Now, if we were to find ourselves between 25 and I would say about 45, you have yourself in fear region. So things are sold off, but not extremely sold off like you would have in the extreme region. And then you have the neutral, where, the market is kind of undecisive whether they should get greedy or be on the fear side. And of course, you get into the greed side, which is the region we were in. Literally, January, February, we were in that region for some time, especially when Dow made the all-time high of 50,000 points, S&P made an all-time high, and that was definitely on the extreme greed because people were all enthusiastic about the market, made all-time highs. So let's buy more, let's buy more, let's buy more. That's what people think. And what you don't want to do is that you actually want to do the opposite of that. So when this fear and greed index is showing that we're in the greedy side, or extreme greed, or greed side, or region or zone. You kind of want to scale back on your buying. If you were to, again, you always do your consistent purchases of your investment on a regular basis. That is a given. So if it's weekly, stick to that. If it's monthly, stick to that. But there are times when you may want to put in an extra 500, an extra 1,000, an extra 2,000, right? Depending on what you can afford. Those times are the times when you want to deploy the money, would be when this is pointing in the extreme fear or fear region, because that means that you are buying things at a discount. When it gets into greed or extreme greed region, it means that things have gotten a bit expensive and you may not be able to get the make the purchase at a discounted price, and you are paying a premium for that, and that is the fact that you're buying at a higher price. It's like going to shop. When would you like to go shopping? Would you like to go shopping when things are on sale, or would you like to go shopping when things are discounted? Now, remember, when it comes to investing your money, we have the opposite mindset of this example I just gave you. When it comes to investing your money, people don't want to lose money. So even when it's on discounts, people fear investing. People don't want to invest because they think they don't want to lose money. So let me wait until it goes back to green, where things are now more expensive. But guess what? That is the opposite of what you want to do. When it's actually down and red, that is when you want to go and buy. When it's green and extremely expensive, that is when you want to step back. So when the stock market is extremely expensive, we don't want to be going shopping and spending extra money. Yes, still continue to dollar cost average. Yes, still continue to do your regular purchases as you've planned it out. But we don't want to find ourselves going extremely big on positions when things are extremely expensive. Think about it. When you know something is going to sell, would you go buy it when it's expensive? I'm pretty sure nobody does that. I mean, let me know in the comment section if that's what you do. But I don't do that. When it's really expensive, I want to wait it out and wait for it to fall down or come down in price. Then I make the intentional purchase based on what I can afford. And that is the thing, that is the idea of this fear and greed index. That is why the zone we are in right now is a great opportunity. If you're somebody who has a long-term approach to investing, you're not trying to, put in your money and need it tomorrow. You're putting your money and need it next month. That's not the mindset here. For times like this is a time you want to go a little bit heavier on your positions. Again, more than what you would normally do. And hopefully ride out this rough period because you've gotten this amazing deal, and we wait it out until we find ourselves in the green. So one of the things that I do personally, I have a long-term portfolio that I hardly touch, I hardly open it, I hardly check it. It's automated, and things are invested on a regular basis, well diversified, no individual stocks in there. And that's generally considered like a retirement account, if you will put it that way. Then I would have another short to medium term portfolio where I tend to look at it more regularly, but not as often as well. Well, why? Because I manage the investments there. I do have some individual stocks there that sometimes I'll go in there to see, hey, how are they doing? Do I want to sell some of this? Do I want to buy some of this based on the situation or the environment we're in? And the approach to it, or the mentality there is, when things are down like this is your accumulation stage. This is where we want to accumulate more of this type of assets. We want to accumulate them because they are considered cheaper. Now, we know that this can still fall to like 10. And by the way, as of 2 days ago, this was at 10. So it came down to about 10. Now it's increased a little bit today because we're in the green slightly. But if we were to come down to 5, 4, or 7, that's a great time to actually put more money into the market, accumulate more of those shares, hold them for maybe a year or two. What will happen is that the portfolio grows. As it grows, then you rebalance. The thing is, unless you have a high conviction about a stock, about a company, especially when it comes to individual stocks, when it comes to diversified funds, I don't try to sell them. I try to just keep them because I don't have to worry about it. when it comes to individual companies, when I'm accumulating them, like I am doing in some of the stocks that I like, I'm holding them till the time when the market recovers and they probably make all-time highs again. Then I'm going to sell some of those stocks. The money I get from that goes back into cash position. Then I wait for maybe a dip or a sell-off in some of the ETFs. Then I buy ETFs. So this is my approach to using the Fear and Greed Index, especially when it pertains to individual stocks. Now, if you're somebody who is looking for ways to make more money, of course, and maybe invest, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ask your question in the comment section. I enjoy talking about this, and I hope that you can benefit from it. And of course, we continue to grow together as a community on here on YouTube. See you in a future one.